Good Sunday morning and happy every second matters. It is the second of the month, a day for starting conversations about the Second Amendment. I had forgotten it was the second of the month until early this morning. So, otherwise, I would have had something for it, but I don't. Did put a picture, but on my community tab for Every Second Matters, but I have a bunch of those already scheduled, so I don't have to remember. So we have Gizzard Gary, or as Packwright likes to call him, Gary Gizzard. How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you? Thanks for having me.
And Guns and Barbecue. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for hosting, for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Was up this morning loading 30-06 for my Garand. So I was having a good time this morning.
For a second, I thought you were about to say for your BAR.
No. I wish. I do. Which does remind me, the CMP is going to start selling converted M14s. They are supposedly converted in a way they cannot be reverted to automatic. But I think that's awesome. As of right now, we can't have them in Washington State.
So sorry.
Well, we'll see what happens next year with the Supreme Court going to rule on semi-automatic rifles. Let me say hello. First was Pack Rats Addict, Ron 2A Matters, Gun Websites, White Rambo, Gizzard Gary, Boomstick, and Pacifist Productions, Shanna Ewing. Good morning. Packrat said he's sitting there having bacon, eggs, and taters for lunch. So, on the community tab also was, I put up a picture of this round and asked everybody, what is this? Here, let me make it myself in bigger. So this round here, barbecue, what would you think this was? Oh, he's being shy. The majority of people thought this was maybe a 444 Marlin, and it's Skaggs Valley Guns is out there. Oops. There you go. He says he thinks he might know, and he's the reason this exists. It's he was wondering, can you fit a 45 Colt in a 410 brass shotgun shell? So he asked me to see if it worked. And I was going to do that, but then I had some of these Lehigh extreme penetrators and the extreme defenders. which are the same size. So I put one of the Extreme Defenders in a 410 shotgun shell. That's what it looks like. This one is a dummy shell. There's no powder because I don't know what load to put behind this, but it's we'll say a proof of concept. You can do it.
So a 410 shotgun shell in a brass case?
Yeah.
Never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's more meant for black powder, which you could just fill that all up with black powder. With smokeless powder, you would not want to fill that all the way up.
So it's pretty close to a 45 long. 45 cold.
It is. It is close. It's just a hair of a stretch, but not that bad.
Have you shot one?
Oh God, no. Like I said, I wouldn't know what powder or what charge to put in this thing.
No stones if you don't.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because this will go boom once. That's my fear. It go boom instead of go bang. New York Outcast is out there. And Midget with Carrot Cake is out there. Yeah, normally I would do, I would make it a contest and give something away. But since it was a fictitious round, I didn't think that would be fair. So I just asked, what did everybody think?
Oh, wow. That's brave. Get it on video.
He ain't got no hand no more.
But the video sure went viral.
Yeah, Skagit Valley has a 45 Colt Bond Arms. I shot that. I went up to see
I'd
him.
put it in a rest with a string on the trigger if I was going to do that and get back behind a tree.
But yeah. I just thought of something. Skagit Valley said 410 slugs from hell video coming. Oh, just looking at going up, making sure I didn't miss too much in the comments out there. Gun Website asked, I wonder how many people at Goals are going to be rapping Every Second Matters. I would hazard a guess that probably not many. And we've got G-Webs. Are you there, sir?
Good afternoon, or I mean morning, whatever time zone this is.
Are
you still on the
time
road?
zone as me? Yeah.
I think so. Oh yeah. Is this audio working all right?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
There's all these bug noises here. It's noisy, it's humid. I don't know how mics work in this kind of situation, like underwater.
No, it sounds good. So how was Goals?
All right, I guess. It looks like they're doing live feeds from it, so I'm guessing that's like all the speeches.
Yeah, I saw the Gun Snob did a Facebook Live last night with Obi and Sarge.
How's the
Out in
attendance?
the parking lot.
G-Webs? Are we losing you?
No, I'm playing with an umbrella. Sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. What was the question?
Oh, how's the attendance this year?
Oh, I only went to the media days, so I have no idea. I'm not in Iowa anymore.
Oh,
I didn't go to the 2 public days, so I'm not sure. It's the attendance was down from last year in Iowa, or for the media days at least.
well, there's nothing halfway about the Iowa way. We greet you when we meet you, which we
Is that a
didn't do
sports
at all.
thing?
What's that?
Is that a sports thing?
No, it's a musical. It's from the Music Man. He ends up in Iowa. While I have you here, I meant to talk about it last week, but on your Daily Gun Show, I think it was on Daily Gun Show, you had asked if the FRT was a way to fight the NFA. I don't know if you remember that. And I had said no. Yeah, but I had an appointment, so I couldn't jump on.
Oh, okay. You were the only no, right?
Probably. But I don't have a strong opinion about it. It's just kind of my gut feeling was no. So I thought we might talk about it here.
Right
to
on.
help me understand it better.
No, I can see that point of view. Basically saying like, oh, I'll just work around it. That's what they're going to say. Like, oh, they're working around it. That's why I try to say compliance with bad law. But I get you. Just by doing what they say now, you were told not to do this and you did it anyway. That doesn't somehow make it right in the people's eyes that think it's wrong. Like we have other work to do to make it go away. But the NFA go away. But one way is through precedence. So it's that layer, so it yes, but not only. So like no, but, and yes, but I think is the answer really.
I can understand the thinking behind that. Probably the biggest reason I thought no was just because you don't hear the talk about the I mean, people are buying the FRTs, but it doesn't seem to me that they talk about the FRTs the same way they did when binary triggers came out.
Well,
So
how do you
it's not
mean by that? Like they're in a better way or a worse way, or I'm not sure I don't understand.
well, just in general, both sides. You don't hear the anti-guns really talk about FRTs at all.
Well, they don't have an agenda. I mean, that's one thing. We take this for granted, and that's why we're weak. Like we're really in a bad position. We're only winning because they don't really have a position and they don't fight hard. But if they actually tried to fight hard, yeah, they could do a lot more damage than they have done. I'm not trying to give them credit. I'm just saying like we need to be ready for an adversary that actually comes to life. Because right now we're fighting an adversary that's like, half empty balloon, acting as if we're somehow winning. And I think most of us can admit that we're not even winning. We're like doing okay, but we're not winning. We're just not losing. And luckily we don't have anybody with an air pump waiting to inflate that thing, but we're definitely not training to fight the inflated monster. We're not even training. We're just making count and coup on the inflated, I don't know, the de-inflated entity that's out there now.
And the other reason I kind of thought that is if the NFA isn't taken down in one big block, which I'm not saying that's how it should be or not should be. I'm just saying if it doesn't come down in one big block, machine guns, which right now I'm talking in general. So which a lot of people see the way the FRTs work as machine guns, but that'll be the last piece to fall if the NFA is taken apart in pieces.
The last piece would be destructive devices, because there's a use for machine guns. The destructive devices is at this point just recreational. There's no hunting done with them or anything. You can say that there's matches and entertainment and sports for machine guns. Well, it's not aside from the real work, but destructive devices is the tough one, like grenades and throwing giant bore stuff around. That's a little tougher to.
I can kind of see that.
But I mean, it's a split hair. But I'm just saying. But I agree with you. It's a super tough thing because we're not trying to change the Overton window. We're trying to get our rights back, and the adversaries hate our rights and they don't want to give them back. So we're yanking on the only thing there is to yank on, when in reality we could be removing the only thing there is to yank on and just get rid of the NFA, and there's nothing they can do about it. But so I do agree with you that the machine guns are going to be the toughest sell right now, because we don't have as the gun owners, we don't have a good strategy that's useful to actually change the Overton window. I keep saying that, but change public opinion of guns.
And, part of the reason my thinking is that way would be but Supreme Court, when they have mentioned machine guns and their resistance against them, and then that's what you hear, like the Glock switches, and they talk, the bad press towards machine guns, even though I don't consider Glock switches and FRTs machine guns, but.
Well, rapid fire. So now you get rid of the technical definitions, the legal definitions, and you just say rapid fire. And there's going to be people that are don't see any reason. There should be no reason for rapid fire. There's no justified reason to have it. And then people that are comfortable with it and don't have a fit. And that's the real two sides of this one. And yeah, but so I'd say going back to FRTs will change the NFA is that because we've never broached full auto at all, except for just bump firing or the bump stock, I guess, technically was a big deal, right? And Trump was okay with it or something. Wait, he was okay with banning it or something, right? So that's one of those, they can't take it as a win because they're stupid, the antis, because they should. But we can't take it as a win, obviously, because Trump hates him and he's an idiot. So we can't, that was the only thing we had adjacent to full auto. So now that there's these companies, these in manufacturers, and there's lots of them at this point. I never could keep track of them, but now I don't even know how many there are, let alone what they are. But anyway, now that these exist and they all have their own individual interests and all their customers have interest and all those customers are setting precedent out there, it's not just the illegal switch for a Glock, which they're scared of on the news. And it's not just the bump stock, which they know Trump hates too. Now it's those other things that are out there, and all that's going to be working through capitalism and through just free market to justify the use of just having recreational fun with more than one round at a time. And that'll nibble away. It's the same way that bump stocks and braces, and not bump stocks, but the same way braces and suppressors have whittled away at the, I don't know what to call it, the abrasiveness, the concept of full auto. And then with these, and just to add on to that now, and I don't know if you guys have been to gun shows lately, or I don't know, ranges, I guess. If you go to a range, not every range is going to allow rapid fire, no matter what it is. So you're not necessarily going to see these things at ranges always. But if you go to an outdoor place where people just congregate and shoot, I'll bet you they're everywhere, those places, where you can shoot them. But if you go to just gun shows and see all the different varieties of them and all the different brands and stuff that are being put in the different guns, there's 22 versions, right? That are putting into 1022s and stuff. I've seen one in a 22 pistol. They're definitely I think they're in Glocks, right? They're in maybe other pistols as well already, and then in AKs and ARs. Then I've seen them in other things already besides just those two platforms. So as people are out there owning those things, they're going to go to their range and say, give us a full auto match. If you guys haven't ever been or watched a full auto match, they're just a lot of fun because you're not dropping mags. You're dropping 3 or 4 rounds, but you usually almost always shoot them at steel. So I always liked a full auto match because one, it's fun and it's louder and it's, more bullets or whatever, but you don't have to tape nothing. And it's just so much more fun when you go to a match and everybody can just shoot and nobody has to have a job and nobody has to go up there and tape. And then all the people that don't tape are having to wait around and act like the people that are taping are taking too long. And that's just always a stressor, I think, in a match. So having a full auto match or competitions or even a whole, add maybe a new, what's the word? ZSC, IPSC and, all the games. If there's a whole new, what's it called? A association or something just for machine gun sports or full auto or rapid fire sports. Now, once they're established as a sport, then we can all lean back on that. Like, hey, we're just shooting these sports. We're shooting these sports. We want to be able to participate in these sports. It's like a fast car, you know, you can look at racetracks or something. So I don't see a deliberate push towards that yet. But as I say, more and more people own these things. We're going to start seeing more and more. It's not going to be foreign to see an outdoor range with a machine gun match every weekend. And once you have machine gun matches, audiences show up either through telephones or cameras or, you know, in bleachers. And once you have audiences, you have sponsors, and now it's, you know, it's that whole road towards precedent and commonality. So I could see them going both ways, but I'm hoping it goes towards the positive. I think it'll go towards the positive, because the difference is we've just never had legions that were, at this point, there's got to be dozens of thousands of people that own these things already, if not hundreds of thousands of people that own these things already. And we never had that with bump stocks. You know, bump stocks were kind of, you had to want a big doofy thing from one company, not put this cool part in your existing gun. All right, now shut up.
Fluffy 10mm Jeep guys out there. Garage Noise, good morning. Ozzy Osbourne. Fluffy had said some vendors left early for goals. And Gizzard said a lot of people had issues with flights to goals because the American Airlines fiasco last week.
What was the American Airlines fiasco? I missed that, I guess.
Got them down.
What do you mean? What happened?
I don't know.
I think all their flights were grounded.
Yeah, I don't know the details about it.
I think the FFA grounded American Airlines for whatever amount of time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering. I had to get on my phone because my internet dropped here. So
I thought you just didn't like machine guns.
I love them. I don't own one, but I love them.
But we'll go back to that as soon as let me finish up through these comments. X Adam 1, I want to get an FRT for my MP5 clone and my CZ Scorpion before they're gone, but it's not cheap. Skagit Valley said my range allows double taps if you're not an idiot. And Pack Rat said the NFA is domed. The problem is the Hughes Amendment. Yes, don't rock the boat. So Gary, I don't know if you've caught the conversation so far about the fart triggers in the NFA.
Some of it, yeah.
Curious on your opinion
as to what's the exact question?
What the
are the FRT triggers going to make the NFA go away? Is that the way to say it?
I doubt it.
Is it a way to attack the NFA? If so, why? If not, why?
I don't think so, because it's basically a way of skirting it. It's not something that I don't think is going to be of mass use to people. It's kind of a novelty thing. You could argue. I've shot them. They're okay, but for real world use, not really. I wouldn't, on something I'm going to rely on, I wouldn't have that in there. So I just don't think it would really be helpful.
Skagit Valley said if they reclassify FRTs as machine guns, our goal should be to get as many into the hands of the public before then as possible. Common use could be key. Chris Winsett, I don't know of any ranges that let you shoot FRTs. You would have to have your own land to shoot them around here. I don't recall the range I go to, outdoor range. I don't recall if there is a rule or not. I would guess probably not, but there's lots of times where I'm out there by myself. So,
oh, you're talking about the outdoor range. An indoor range, I could see something like a, I don't know, some kind of, just thinking like a chain link, like curtain or something, or a series of curtains like baffles or something that basically get installed going down the ceiling that retrofits like an existing range, that something like chain link where air could still blow through it, but it would then, any bullet coming at any kind of real angle, like real life angle, would have to go through like multiple, drapes of chain link or something, so it would slow it down and stop the bullets from hitting the ceiling. And I think most ranges right now for sure don't want any kind of rapid fire, but as soon as it's common, and I agree, like as soon as we see precedent, like braces, pistol braces. Oh, that's when it first came out in 16 or something, 14. They could, a lot of people thought too, because they look stupid and they were only for one or two guns, and who needs them? You can just pay the $200 and get a real NFA or a real SBR. But once the ranges start having requests, I mean, essentially that's saying to the range, instead of shooting one box of ammo today, I'd like to rent your bay and shoot 20 boxes of ammo. And I mean, yes, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way they make their money. So I'm guessing a lot of ranges will retrofit as fast as possible. Same way that ranges started selling suppressors as soon as it was like not a weird, obscure thing to do. It was kind of normalized or whatever. Now look at how many gun shops have suppressors and stuff. If you would have gone into a gun shop, can I say 10 years ago? I don't know if I could say 10 years ago, but 20 years ago for sure. And you would have said, what's the odds of you ever selling a suppressor? I bet you half the gun shops would have seriously been like, what's a suppressor? We can't sell those. That's for movies, like we don't know what that is. Barbecue.
I think maybe also the kiosks. The
silencer shop, is that the ones who made those and then made it?
I always confuse Silencer Shop and Silencer Co. But I think it's Silencer Shop.
No, Silencer Shop and Silencer something else. But Silencer Co. is a company out of just make suppressors. But Silencer Shop is like a distributor. There's another Silencer something, Silencer City or something that is another distributor, and they're the ones that screwed everything up, I think, right?
So it's probably Silencer Shop then. They started putting all the kiosks in the gun shops to make it really easy to do your paperwork. That ATF allowing the electronic submissions kind of streamlined everything, made it all easy, and I think that helped boost the sales once all that started. Skagit Valley said, we have members only range here that allows full auto fire. And X Adam 1, there's a range near me that allows shooting with FRTs, but that's not the one I go to. He checks paperwork for silencers. I don't like that. New York Outcast, state or BLM land is an option.
I don't think that's legal to ask, especially for non-sworn officers but even a sworn officer, I think you have to be federal agent to ask for a tax stamp. But obviously it doesn't matter if the guy's not going to let you shoot.
And Packrat said, Adam, he's not allowed to ask for paperwork. Only the ATF is. I don't know, because it's a private business. He can ask, and if you say no, he can ask you to leave, but he can't demand you show it to him.
But he can definitely refuse service to anyone, right? So yes, for any reason, I suppose, or for not any reason, but whatever.
Skagit Valley said Silencer Shop is the kiosk company.
Does Skagit Valley have one?
I don't think he has one as of right now. Well, I know he, unless since the last time I saw him, he didn't have one.
You ever heard an interview with the Silencer Shop people? The guy?
I don't think so.
He's like a dentist or something. It's a pretty interesting situation, but he's not a gun guy. Like, obviously now a gun guy, but started out as like just being a dentist who saw a way to do something different.
Yeah, Skagit Valley says he has his SOT, but no kiosk. So, does the with the who makes the FRT? Who makes the fart triggers?
That's the parts I don't know. There's a bunch of them, so we could just say like rapid fire trigger, I think, and mean all of them at this point.
Well, I want to be specific to the company for a reason.
Oh, okay. Well,
so they're whichever company that is, which I can't think of the name. Someone will mention it out in the chat. Rare Breed. Thank you. Sketch Valley. So does Rare Breed their compromise with the ATF to where the ATF said, we'll leave you alone if you sue all these companies for patent infringement, anybody that brings anything close to your patent, does that slow down the push towards getting rid of the NFA?
well, is that hypothetical or did that happen?
No, that's true.
Because how did all these other ones happen then? Because there's like so many of them I can't even keep track. Every time I see one, it's like a different one, it seems like.
They've been suing. Part of their settlement with the ATF was they agreed to sue other companies for patent infringement.
Yeah. Interesting.
I was just curious if you thought that might slow the process down on getting rid of the NFA, because they're not directly defending the NFA, but it's,
well, they've created like an artificial little vacuum or void or something that they have to be involved with removing competition or something. But I don't think it's an issue because, one, I see so many of them that already exist. Unless it's some situation where they're about to be sued, I just don't think that's the case, because while some of them seem almost like a tiny little organization, some of them are established. They got set up at like goals and stuff. So some of them are working with, more what am I trying to say? Like working with the industry manufacturers. That's what I'm looking for, in building them like right out the gate. Like you buy them with a rapid fire trigger in them. So, like I say, if they are suing people that are doing exactly like infringing their thing, then people are coming up with other things. So, in that case, capitalism and industry is just going to happen, and people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, we'll comply in a different way that doesn't, infringe on your patent, but we'll still comply with the NFA and make a rapid fire trigger for." And here's the thing: maybe the ones that are FRTs are just for ARs, and all these other ones are for different platforms or something. Or does it? Do you know the details? Like, do they have to defend an MP5 or something, or a shotgun or something like that? Isn't even them. Like, I don't know.
According to Google, Rare Breed has sued 131 individuals. They have filed over 131 individual lawsuits.
So I didn't know that dynamic of it. So I can understand why that could influence somebody's vote on whether or not FRTs specifically are going to mess with the NFA overall. I guess I was thinking generally rapid fire triggers, like, are they a threat to the NFA? And I'm saying hell yeah, but I don't know the details of FRT specifically.
Sketch Valley said they are even suing shops for selling FRTs that are not made by them, and they agreed not to make FRTs for handguns.
Okay, well, I've definitely seen them for pistols, so there's definitely a different, something else happening that doesn't fall under their jurisdiction or whatever that would be called.
Grim Reaper's Reviews is out there. He said, "Hello, everyone. I'm so bummed I missed goals. Major foot infection and can barely walk. Go figure."
I kept walking up to people with tattoos of fire, shaking their hands and offering them bacon. They acted weird, but took the bacon, but they weren't grim.
Well, he would probably be the one giving out bacon. So you needed to look for someone giving out bacon. And Sketch Valley said the settlement was terrible. They betrayed the community, going after people that haven't haven't stolen anything like Hoffman. Yeah, some of the companies they went after, the designs were different, but the action was the same. So they sued them anyways. X out of one. Can't they sue companies but deliberately have a very case that goes nowhere just to appease the feds? A weak case.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know. Oh, Grim has the diabetes.
I think if you eat oatmeal, it goes away.
Well, you find a community pool with these cocoon things at the bottom, and I think they glow. I don't remember. You swim in that water, and it makes you young again. But I will have to ponder this question a little more. Like I said, I don't have a strong opinion on FRTs. I don't own one. Probably will never buy one. They don't interest me. All I see when I see people shooting FRTs is money going downrange.
Well, as a reloader, you should see opportunity.
I still just see money going down the range.
Look at all that money hitting the floor.
It's
money hitting the floor.
But I'm not against them. And they're cool and fun, but
they're tactical and nobody wants to talk about it. But just because you can drop a mag and everybody wants to drop a mag to do it, that's like owning a fast car. Once in a while you're going to go fast. But what's really important about having a fast car is when you need it to go fast, you can go fast. And because you've played around in it, you're able to go fast. So by having these things and playing with them recreationally, when we need to shoot 3 rounds at a time, which is a useful, valuable tactical skill to have, or I guess ability for your tool to have, there's nothing wrong with that. And we can't lose sight of that side either, that they've taken from us something that equalizes a playing field when you are doing maneuvers or you are doing all the things that full auto exists for. And while it's neat, like say to drop a mag, what you want full auto switch for on your firearm is so that you can do controlled bursts. And you're not going to do controlled bursts only for laying down cover fire, but if you don't know what's going on or somebody behind actual cover, or there's 7 of them, like there's so many reasons. That's why they exist. That's why they still exist. I should say, like if full auto was useless, they would have gotten rid of it a long time ago, because it does waste ammo, or it can waste ammo. But it's not wasted ammo if you can throw 3 rounds every time your adversary's throwing 1. And fuck you, it's our right. Like we do have that right to be able to do that. And anyway, I don't want to, I'm preaching the choir here. Sorry.
X Adam 1 said shooting full freedom makes him smile. One of his favorites is his TX22. Grim Reaper, he's picking one up for his TX22. Sketch Valley FRT and 22 is pretty fun and cheap to shoot. Pack Rat, there is an FRT for the Taurus TM22 that looks like a blast. And Sketch Valley FRTs make 9mm PCCs useful and effective, like the old use cases for SMG. That might be the only way I would be interested in a PC. I'm not a PCC guy. Just I understand the argument for them. Just not my.
If you remove the NFA, then you get back to SMG, and that has a useful purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't want all that extra making it into a carbine bullshit to comply with an NFA that I don't need to. I can handle a wire stock on a MAC-10 or a folding stock on an Uzi, because now you do have a gun you can shoot one-handed or two-handed. But making it useless one-handed, you have the pistol caliber, just to comply with 27 inches overall and 16-inch barrel? No, thank you.
Skagit Valley said the MP5, for example.
MP5K maybe.
Pack Rat said that is what makes shotgun so effective at short range.
Interesting.
Grim said, I want one for an AR, but would be rarely used. Nice to have if needed. And next item 1. I would love to see the NFA disappear just to see the creative things that people would come out with when it comes to new designs.
Exactly. Can you imagine with like new materials, new ways of building, new ways of prototyping? Yeah, we'd have like, you don't need to be anything like it used to be able to do any of those steps in the process. And all the people that are like experts in any one step can collaborate a billion times easier than we could ever done before. It would be crazy to see, take those constraints off, see what kind of stuff would exist. Have anybody been watching the stuff from Goals, like the range day stuff, or any of the videos of guns like at the show? Because there's a couple of things, they're not new to the world, but they're new to me because I didn't look at them at SHOT Show. But like that shotgun that unfolds and like, I don't know, some of the other stuff that's like new. I was wondering if anybody's seen anything like that that was interesting or they found interesting. Am I still in here?
Am I still in here?
Sorry about that. I had to make an emergency paper airplane for my daughter. Pack Rat said, I want one of those one horse express. Guessing that's a shotgun. G-Webs is, there's 2 of you. You're multiplying.
Oh, I thought barbecue was back. Am I in here now?
Yeah. Well, you were in here before. I muted because my daughter needed something.
Oh, okay. I thought I got disconnected.
But you've got 2.
Well, I'm blaming barbecue for that. Probably masquerading as me. Oh, there. He
Here we
left.
go.
As soon as I called him out, he left. See?
Skagit Valley said Hoffman Tactical Trigger Kicker is totally not in stock at this very moment, and do not Google it. HOFFMAN Tactical. Pack Rat. Multiple hits make shotguns and SMGs effective. G-Webs loves shotguns. They're his favoritist. Fluffy said,
I'm okay with
Pack Rat,
shotguns existing. I just don't understand why they need to exist.
Because they're fun.
Pack Rat, Fluffy's asked, Pack Rat, did you see the release of the new AR Pistol Express and 22 LR version?
I checked that. I didn't shoot it, but I picked it up and looked at it. It looks like an AR, but I guess it's you know what the Expresses are?
No.
So what was the name of that company before? That's now One Horse? But anyway, so now it's called One Horse. Wasn't
Anderson, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Anderson turned into One Horse, I guess. So now that company makes one with a rapid fire trigger. I forget which brand, but like from the factory. And their models that come with that trigger, they call the Express models. So the 22 Express would be essentially be like with an FRT from the factory, but I don't know if it's an FRT. I don't remember what brand it is. Is Atrius FRT? I think it's Atrius. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't either. But anyway, so the ones when you see One Horse Expresses, those are nice. I would definitely like to get one of those.
New York Outcast said he listened to a few of the speeches, but honestly, it got old quick. Seemed like just preaching to the choir to him.
That's what I didn't want to hear, but I assumed the response, that's what I assumed was going to happen. I haven't decided if I'm going to go back and listen. And maybe I'll listen at like 4x speed or something to see what kind of stuff, sort of like it's gRPC, but it's like gRPC in a different way, except this is the total, like, I'm assuming this is the total, like, my rights, my property. Let's not forget that it's all about our rights and our property, and like they can't take our rights and our property from us.
X Adam 1, post that picture of your revolver in the Gorn on the Discord, and I'll show it. That way I don't have to send it from my phone to the computer.
Oh, did you see I posted a boring ass like real-time video of me flying a drone around at the thing? So you can see like the scale and the size of it and what kind of boots were there.
I saw that you did that, but I did not watch it.
I forgot how long it is. I need to like figure out. I'm trying to edit from my phone and bring nothing like a laptop this time. So I'm just trying to edit with my phone, and I could get some of it edited, but I didn't know how to make it time compressed or whatever to make it faster. So it's real time me walking around with the drone, but you get to see essentially the entire thing, and the boots and the scale of the aisles and the size of the building and stuff.
X Adam 1 did the math on the revolver I got. With the accessories included, package was over $2,000. He got it for $900. It's a Smith & Wesson M&P revolver with a red dot. So hopefully he'll put a picture in the Discord so I can show it. We can gawk at it. Fluffy said One Horse is a new company and some of the Anderson people are working there. Packrat said One Horse is Anderson Rejects, totally new company. And yes, the Atrius Super Safety. Oh, they make the Super Safety. I didn't know who made the Super Safety.
Now, have you ever shot a bump stock?
No.
Have you shot any of these FRT things?
No.
So the bump stock, you had to kind of still fiddle with it. Like it wasn't just like you pull a trigger. These other ones, you just pull a trigger. Like you're not doing anything else except pulling a trigger. You're not like holding it, doing anything weird or anything. You're just pulling the trigger like a normal trigger. It's fairly easy. I don't know what they do inside to make them different, but they're no different than if you had an actual full auto and flipped it to full auto. Literally.
Now, I've shot a binary trigger. Is that similar?
No, because from my experience, those, didn't you have to like fiddle with it a little bit, or like, it felt different? Like you had to, you knew something else was happening. I don't know what to call it, like recoil impulse or something. I don't remember, because I know there was more than one kind of binary trigger too. The one we tried a long time ago, it had to be one of the early ones. We took it out. We just plain bump fired a regular semi-auto. We had a full auto out, and then we took this binary. And that one, it's hard to explain. It was kind of like you had to, you just couldn't pull the trigger and just do it normally. You had to kind of be aware that maybe you wiggled your finger. I'm trying to remember my physical finger movement from a long time ago, and I'm just not doing it. But I remember there was something to it. It only took like 2 pulls of the trigger to figure it out. It wasn't difficult, but it was a little weird. And the ones that I'm saying, like, these are just magic. Like, they're not magic. They're just a different mechanism that you pull the trigger, and then when you let go of the trigger, it stops shooting. So they are nice, and it's technically complying with the law, but 100,000%, I could see somebody who doesn't care about any of this saying that's just full auto, because there's no real difference from the outside. Super Safety is what Rare Breed sued Hoffman over. So I need to roll up my sleeves at some point and try to do a deep dive and figure all this out. go through the spaghetti and figure out which one was first and then what happened and then what happened and then who's on the scene now. But I've done that with braces, and I did it in like 2015, and it changed so much. By the time I did it again in like 2022, I was like completely lost. So I'm sure I'm starting into the same process here. You know, whatever we do today, it'll what's the word, like iterate a billion times in the next couple of years as this either the NFA goes away and nobody bothers with this ever again, or the NFA sticks around and we see 100 iterations of these things, you know, because they're going to have to make a new one for each type of gun out there. Everybody's going to want everything with one of these kind of triggers.
Ron Wayne is out there. Good morning.
We could do a bracket on what would be the best guns to put an FRT style trigger into.
That's not a bad idea.
Or like maybe what they should make it for next or something.
Skagit Valley said a FRT focus show would be very interesting.
Oh, like how they do CanCon, except FRT Braun or something?
FartCon?
Yeah, it should be called FartCon. Because it would sound like a bunch of farts going off by a bunch of suppressed full autos. It just sounds like robot farts. Oh shit. Once the robots are attacking us, we won't be able to tell the difference between us shooting at them with suppressed full auto and them farting at us.
X Adam 1 said FRT my revolver somehow.
That's what I was going to pick. My NA 22 short 5-shot FRT trigger would be awesome.
Yeah, Ron Waite said your drone footage of goals was terrific. Thanks for the look-see, G-Webs.
You bet. They told me I couldn't do it, so I did it anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I got a ton from the range. It's very difficult to, it's a pain in the butt because I edit. Anyway, I have to do it on a phone, and I'm just waiting until I get back at this point because it's very difficult. I learned a lesson on this trip that I need to bring a laptop. I don't know how people do all this stuff on phones. I mean, I don't even literally know how, but then just the logistics of it, I just don't get it because my stuff doesn't, like my phones don't talk to my hard drives like my computers do. So it's just driving me nuts.
Skagit Valley said might even join the show and bracket if we did a FRT chat. Do a deep dive.
Oh, he means a podcast. I was thinking an FRT show. I was thinking like a whole actual event where like all the FRT people show up and there's a range and like, you know, like they had booths and stuff like we just went to. I thought you meant like that kind of show.
Well, Rare Breed would probably just take down license plates for people to sue. Pack Rat said the reason I want the One Horse Express as they did all their homework and have everything set up to work with the FRT. Skagit Valley said 500 Smith & Wesson is almost an FRT, right?
Turns out if you hit the back button, you leave the show. So don't hit the back button.
So X Adam 1, let me show the gun we were talking about. He put pictures in the Discord. As soon as I find my Discord, there it is. I am not a huge fan of red dots on revolvers, but I kind of like the way the setup looks. And he got a sweet deal on it.
What do you think of that cylinder deal on the back like that? Oh, it's like a different kind of lever. What do you call that? Like a cylinder release, I guess.
It's different. I think with the
How much does it travel? I think I've played with one before, but I can't remember. Does it just barely move, or does it like actually move a lot? Or do you just have to barely touch it and the cylinder swings open?
I don't know, but I
Is there a
think
picture of it? Are you zoomed in on it right now? Or is that the
Yeah,
picture zoomed in?
I can zoom
Can
out.
you zoom out? Is the grip angle normal?
I think so.
Oh, you zoomed out over there. Doesn't it look Beasley-ish to you? Like that looks like a very vertical grip angle on the front. I mean, the back, I guess, looks normal. But to me, the front looks very vertical or right angle or whatever. Maybe that's because there's a dot on it. Maybe that's to hold it in your hand so you get to the dot quicker or something.
I don't know.
Is it made for speed or for accuracy at distance? And I'm assuming it's made for speed. Because it's short, it looks like it's got a speed parts on it.
Except one did say the trigger is amazing. Can't wait to shoot it. He was so excited he said it twice. And Ron Wayne said definitely set up to send lead. Well, I do like it. I think that cylinder release, if it didn't have all this other stuff on it, I wouldn't like the look of that release. But it is officially cool. And Gizzard said he personally knows guys from One Horse. Kyle Wade is certainly not an Anderson reject. He represents them at industry events. He represented them at industry events several times.
Oh, yeah. I've met Kyle several times. He's a good guy. But he basically ended up without a job when Anderson collapsed. I don't know if that makes him a reject. I don't see it that way personally.
Well, I don't know if he meant that as an insult or just, a term of endearment.
Oh, he said that's what they're calling themselves. Okay, fair enough if that's the case. I thought it was intended otherwise. But no, Kyle still wanted to continue the vision of what they had. So I wish him well.
Well, I'll go on the record. I was saying Kyle's a son of a bitch until I got one of those express pistols.
Well, I was hoping Barbecue would make it back. I had a question.
Not only does he hate guns, but he hates the idea of the NFA going away even more than he hates regular guns. So there's no way he was going to jump back in.
I had a question for I want the wisdom of the crowd. I am saving up again for either.
I have too many guns. I'm going to get rid of some of my guns because I have too many guns.
I have. I would have to count again to double check the numbers, but I'm down by 10. I have reduced what I own by 10.
But you've got some you want to get, though.
Well, one more.
It's always one more.
What
famous last words from a gun collector?
The problem I have right now is I no longer have a 1911 in 45. I only have 10 millimeters.
So you want to get a real 1911 is what you're telling me. Okay.
And also, I do have a 357. I've got my air weight, but I sold my 4-inch. I kind of want another 4-inch, but I want to do either or. either a 357, 4-inch 357, or a 1911. It'll be a little while because I'm just putting a little bit aside at every.
Am I allowed to pick a
See-
gun that I want to buy and then vote for that one? Then you buy it, and then I wait until you don't want it anymore, and then I buy it off of you with depreciation. Am I allowed to vote that way?
It may help. You never know.
See, from knowing you to be a recoil junkie, the 357 would be a lot more fun than a 1911. Recoil ain't that bad on a 1911.
That's true, but I do really, really like 1911s. The more I shoot 1911s, the more I like 1911.
I
They
agree
are-
with that.
They should Browning should have said 1911 perfection. Not Glock perfection, 1911 perfection.
There's a company here that made, or that was at Goals, I should say, that had like 4 guns out there to shoot, and 2 of them were 10s. One was a 40. Wait, one of them was a 10. 2 were 45s, and one was a 9. But they were all 1911s, and they were like, I think they started at, started at like $9,000 or something, and then 2 middle ones were like at the $10,000 to $12,000, and then I think he said the one was like $15,000 or $17,000, something crazy. The 9mm one. So I shot them all. I got them on video, so eventually there'll be videos of them, for what my videos are. But after shooting, a couple, like almost $40,000 or something worth of 1911s, like I get it, like they're neat and everything, but I just don't know. Like I think I enjoy shooting all 1911s, and for as better as they are, I can't see the massive amount of money on the really nice. I get it, but I would probably be satisfied with just a regular 45. You've already got the 10s. You're saying you shoot them a lot or no?
Not a lot, but I mean, I don't really shoot any of the guns I have a lot.
Well, I guess of the things you shoot, though, like, do you go off and go to the? I'm just saying, if you've already got 10mm 1911s, I can't imagine you're like, unless you're every week you're shooting a 1911 and something else, so you just can't get enough 1911. And I would say go to the 357 again.
Well, the
like that.
1911, what I'm kind of looking at are engraved 1911s.
Oh, so not so much one to shoot, just the one to have a fancy 1911.
What kind of a mid-range one where if I shot it, I would be willing to shoot it even though it has engraving on it. Like the Ruger has one that's kind of affordable, and the engraving is nice. It's not, high class.
Still a spot in the collection, not so much to scratch an itch to pull a trigger.
What's that? I missed part of what you were saying. Sorry.
I'm having no luck trying to put my mute on my phone. It's more of like an adding a specimen to the collection type of thing, rather than you have an itchy trigger finger to shoot a 45 or a 357. It's like a specific gun you're looking for, not the shooting experience.
Well, technically speaking, I'm not collecting. I promised my wife I'm not collecting. So they have to fulfill a role other than just collecting. I haven't quite figured out what that role is just yet.
Well, any kind of fancy thing is a prop for photos. So necessary for, like, if you want to do a nice photograph of a watch, you want to have a nice engraved 1911 next to it to show how valuable that watch is.
But I am, like I said, it'll still be a few months before I get it. And there's a chance that something else will catch my eye once I have enough, which happens quite often. But I was just curious.
Well, now that you're a reloader, where does the ammunition choice fall in your reloading spectrum?
It's a wash, honestly. They're small straight walled cartridges, so they're really easy to reload.
I mean, do you already have the stuff for one or the other, or not have the stuff? So
Yeah.
like one of them would involve having to buy more stuff or something?
No, I still have all this. I still have components for doing 45, even though I sold my 45. And also for 357. Let me go back up to the comments a little bit here. X Adam 1 said Foss has a rich problem. Not really. No, I don't think so. I save up a little by little. It all adds up in the end. And like a lot of the stuff that I did buy recently was because I sold some stuff off. And New York Outcast was asking, how much money did you lose selling 10 guns? I got a very fair price and some horse trading. Sketch Valley said could get this CMP 1911 pretty easy. I like the idea of owning the CMP 1911, but I don't think it will fill the spot that I want it to fill. X Adam 1 said, I haven't bought a 1911 since I discovered 2011s. 2011s are cool looking. I don't really want one. I don't want a I don't like the idea of a 9mm 1911. There are some very attractive ones, which like the Kimber, they're God, what the hell is it? The KDS? Is that the one that looks? It's a single action, and it almost looks like the. It looks like a mix of a 1911 and the. God, what the hell is the IWI? The 40.
Eagle?
No. I can't think of the name of it.
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it either. It's been so long.
It became really popular with non-gun people because it was in an anime show. It was Spikes.
Tavor? No, that's our rifle.
Jericho. Thank you.
Yeah, as soon as somebody said it, I was
Brian
going to say, as soon as they say it, it'll make sense again, but I couldn't think of it either.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a 1911 Jericho almost mix. And I love the way they look, but it's 9mm. And expensive. That's the other problem. It's like $2,000 or something. I don't remember. Ron said, I totally flipped my collection this year. Moved all my lower tier pews for bucket list ones. Numbers are definitely down. That's pretty much what I did. I had a lot of budget guns that, I enjoyed owning them and shooting them, but I wanted quality over quantity. So I started shifting stuff to get better stuff. That's when I got the Colt Grizzly and the lever guns and such. So, I kind of realized that, I had the budget guns. I don't want to call them cheap guns because, they all worked and they were fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but I didn't shoot them. I would forget they were there. I wasn't enjoying owning them. So I decided, move them along and get something different. X Adam 1 said, I enjoy shooting 5-inch versions of 1911s. Yes. Sketch Valley, GI 1911 with history is where it's at. Ozzy said nobody needs a 45 AARP. 10 millimeter is better. Gary said 2 world wars.
Well, what 45 gives you is common caliber, so you can just go grab it almost anywhere. Not almost, well, almost everywhere. You know, not quite everywhere. It's not the most common anymore, but you know what I mean. You're going to find 45 ACP before you find 10, or before you find 10.
I think honestly, for me, part of it is it's a Browning design. It's history. It's iconic. It's America. America. Except once to Ron Wayne, I got rid of my Heritage revolvers, but I kind of missed them a little. Started getting what I call forever guns. And Pack Rat, one reason I like 45 ACP, it creates a bigger hole that they bleed more. Except one, collecting means not shooting them, so I'm not a collector. And he enjoys the soft push type feeling of the 1911s. Oops. And XN1's telling me to look at the Kimber 2K11 and 45 ACP. Depends on how many rounds it holds. We have a 10 round limit in Washington. Sketch Valley said Stealth Arms Platypus accepts FRT, by the way. I have shot the Stealth Arm Platypus. I will say I really did like it, but it's 9 millimeter. The one problem I have with it. You've shot that, didn't you, Gary? The platypus?
Yeah, I think I did.
Do you remember what you thought about it?
Mm-hmm. It evidently wasn't real remarkable to me, but
didn't blow your skirt up.
Didn't blow my skirt up, no. But at that time, I had a pretty big skirt, so it took a lot to blow it up. Anymore, nah. I need new skirts for sure.
Ozzy said, isn't the Jericho a CZ75 clone? Kinda is. New York Outcast said, it seems like unless you have a private buyer selling used guns, always leaves you with less than you started with. And I usually will take a loss if I sell something, and I'm okay with it. I don't worry about squeezing every dollar out of something. If I got the enjoyment or the use that I needed it for, I'm okay with, giving somebody a deal on it.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how you look at things. If you look at everything as net dollars and cents, yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of money. But if you take into account, I've owned this 2 or 3 years. I don't have a use for it anymore, so I can make a net gain out of that. Then who's to say if that's not okay for you? The way I look at it. I've done it.
XM1. The one gun type I don't think I'll ever own is a historical piece, something like a single action from a war. Too much money. Sketch Valley, smaller calibers may expand, but 45 doesn't need to. Ron Wayne said, for Heritage, 122 rifle and a Turkish shotty got me a trapdoor. So there's that. Sketch Valley said, I think Foss made up for the selling prices with the buying prices. Yes, I get a pretty good deal from my FFL. Sketch Valley guns, cough, cough, cough. Home of the gun gnome. Sketch Valley guns. XM1, I just bought another Icarus frame for my P365. Got it for $150. I am fortunate to get great deals and haven't lost money on any sell. Plenty of inventory on local forums here. Well, hopefully, I don't know if G-Webs is he lost service or in barbecue, because I was gonna do a bracket, but
Yeah, everybody's bailing on you. Yeah,
we can always save it.
My internet glitched earlier. That's why I went to my phone, and then I went and unplugged everything and waited 5 minutes, plugged it back in, and it came back. So I apologize for that, but
Well, that's
just
all right.
happens randomly every once in a while. It just quits.
Oh, so what else is new, Gary?
Well, let's see. I didn't get to visit my kids this weekend because they're out of state for this weekend and next. So I took myself out to eat and spent some time around town yesterday just so it would feel like a Saturday. I actually got out and did some stuff. And that's about really the most excitement around here that I can think of. Not really a whole lot going on here in the Gizzard Gary compound, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I did. Ron Wayne. There, I did buy. That's over there. You can see right there. I did buy a cowboy hat. It's in the last short that I did. I think I need one with a taller crown. It kind of fit, and then I got a haircut, and it's really loose on my head now.
Really? It made that much difference? He must have a lot of hair.
It's curly hair, so it takes up a little more room. But I don't like having long hair. It's kind of like Samson, but instead of my hair giving me strength, the longer my hair is, the more annoyed I am.
Well, I think, speaking from an older American, the older you get, the less tolerance you have for heat and stuff like that. And a shorter hairstyle is just cooler in the summertime. Less maintenance. And of course, we're talking about a guy who keeps his stuff cut, within millimeters of the scalp here. But in my case, I'm balding halfway back the top of my head. So if I let it grow long, I'd look like Gallagher. So, or David Crosby, or whatever contemporary you'd like to make out of that. But to me, it's just cooler and less maintenance to keep it short.
I pretty much from about the age of 16, I've had a flat top. It's changed a little bit over the years, depending on if I can find a barber or not. Because not a lot of barbers can do flat tops anymore.
See, I never cut my hair really short until age 45. That's when my dad came down with leukemia and had to start going through chemo. And I did it to support him when he was losing his hair. And I just liked it so much after I did that. I've pretty much kept it that way for the last 20 years or so.
I used to always try and find the oldest barber I can, because I knew they could do flat tops. The only problem is they die off. So every couple of years, you're always looking for another barber.
Yeah, that's something you really can't do to yourself. And what I do, I can pretty much do with a guide on a set of electric clippers. I could do it in the dark. It's that easy. But what you're doing, yeah, you'd have to really know what you're doing to get it right.
I did cut it myself for a while, but kind of the back where it transitions from the top to the back, I can't see it. So I kind of struggle with that.
Well, the ideal thing would be if you could have your wife learn how to do it.
She refuses.
Oh, I see.
I've tried to get her to help me, but no, she won't do it. The gun snob is out there. If anybody
I see
wondering what
that.
that funny smell was, it's just the gun snob. It's okay.
It's just Iowa. He smells like Iowa. He smells like corn right now, probably.
Grim Reaper wants to know, will Chaps be next? Shaps. Probably not.
Spurs.
Ozzy said, I cut over 10 inches of hair off a couple months ago. That's quite a bit of hair. New York Outcast said, I've always kept mine short as an adult. Makes getting up and out much quicker when needed. That's kind of my philosophy has been since I started getting the flat top. If my hair is messy, my hair is too long. I don't own a brush or a comb because I shouldn't need one.
If when I wear a hat, I can tell afterwards because it mashes down my hair is too long. That's kind of the way I do things.
Snob said he's leaving Iowa. Is he voluntarily leaving Iowa, or did they kick him out?
They might kicked everybody out. It is later on Sunday. I know he's got a long drive home, so.
X Adam 1 said, likely a leather vest is next. He's working from the top down. I will say, ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted a bib shirt. I don't think I could pull the look off, is why I've never bought one, but I've always loved the look of a bib shirt. You know what that is? It's got that flap on the front that you can open. Western styles.
Now, the gun snob could probably give you pointers on pearl snap shirts if you want to go contemporary Western styling and stuff like that. Then you'd have to get a bolo tie, probably.
I had one for a while in high school that I made just because somebody had given me it's like a ribbon or something, so I made a bolo tie out of it.
Yeah, they're not hard to make. I had one too. I actually lived in Austin, Texas for 6 months when I was 19, living with my sister. So I had to get the prerequisite cowboy hat and bolo tie because it's kind of official Texas garb. But it didn't really fit in when I got back home.
Snob said 176 to Kansas City.
He's heading back my direction. All right. Back to
Skagit
God's
Valley
country.
Skagit Valley, I value my health too much to ask my wife to cut my hair. The goddamn bacon. Just dropping by to say hi.
Celebrity.
Again. I'm glad to see you again, too. New York Outcast, waiting on anyone to get their hair ready for public kind of sucks. Goddamn bacon. Keeping all the hair I can since it doesn't really grow past where it is now. Skagit Valley Guns. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. What movie is that from, Gizzard?
I don't know, but if I had to guess, maybe Field of Dreams?
It is Field of Dreams. Good job.
Okay.
Snob said cheap bourbon whiskey and pearl snap shirts are two things that stay the same.
True.
Yeah. Iowa kind of sucks, if anyone wondered. I've never been to Iowa.
I drove through Iowa on the way to the East Coast one time, and we did stop off at Des Moines and walk the grounds of the Capitol and stuff like that. And I'll have to say, although it was nice, touring Iowa is much like touring anywhere in Kansas. It's like, well, I'm here, but I'm not sure why I'm here. So I wouldn't say my own state sucks. It's just not a tourist destination. But yeah. So
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Without the bracket. I don't know what we're gonna do now. Everybody has left us.
Yeah, I know, right? And we just barely got started. We're only not even an hour and a half in yet. This is bad
I
as one of
did
my
use-
chats.
I did make an account on that Bracket HQ.
Oh yeah, I did too. A free account.
And then I can't remember the login. So I had it open on the other computer. So I was able to mess with it over there, but I can't mess with it over here because I can't log in. So I ended up just deleting the account.
You don't have it. My browser, of course, I use Google Chrome, and it offers to save passwords and stuff like that to websites.
I don't let my computers. I limit what my computers do. I don't let them talk to each other. I don't let them remember anything. I don't trust the robots.
Well, see, to me, there's no way I would remember the various passwords I have if I didn't do that. So, but I will say on most of the websites, including Google, that I use, I do have third-party authentication turned on, and some of them require Google Authenticator to even get logged into. So it requires a 6-digit code every time you log in. But I understand your take on it too.
I am just leery. I use technology. I just don't trust technology. So I don't
trust most humans I know either. But
Skaggs Valley said, I like farmland, but that's just me. And Fluffy said, Chris said hi. He's driving. Tell Chris hi.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, he's probably listening, maybe. So if you can hear, hi, Chris. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you're doing good. And Skaggs Valley said, take suggestions for FRT brackets from the chat. Snob said he trusted a fart once.
Now, a fart isn't the same thing as an FRT, but it's close. It's only one letter
It can make
off.
you triggered.
That's true.
It is. Well, I don't know. Might be. Never mind. Might be too gross of a subject for this early on a Sunday morning. I watched a video on why that whole thing is a thing.
Having taken 2 extended long trips with the gun snob in the same vehicle, I can, without going into detail, I can definitely say it's an issue. And we'll leave it at that.
Oh, Ron Wayne, let your computers talk to each other. Let my pews talk to each other. My Craig has a beef with my AK. I think New York Outcast agrees with me. Yeah, I don't let my browser remember password. I don't. There's
But you
very
have credit
few
cards.
What's that?
But you have credit cards, right?
I do, and I don't like that most companies keep that information. I will, whenever possible, on most sites, I won't let it maintain or remember my information. So I will input all of that information every time if I buy something. You know, I won't let them store it, even though it is kind of stored in their records. It just takes me a few more moments, you know, and I have all that information memorized. So It's not, for me, it's not that big a deal. I do. Yeah, I do understand, like with Apple, where everything Apple integrates with everything else, and it's convenient and efficient, but I won't do it. On top of not wanting to join the iCult. See, that's why you have to shave your head. It's the iCult.
Resistance is futile. My head is not shaved. I was doing it for a while. I haven't recently.
New York said it all goes back to risk management. No point in making things easier for others. Absolutely. Apple has been getting hacked lately. Lots of videos out on it. I think you're probably still 100 times more at risk having Windows than Apple, but Apple's doing their best to catch up. Rod said you have a man bun.
That's news to me. I can't feel it. Let's put it that way.
I will have to say, if you had a man bun, Gary, I would lose a little bit of respect for you.
I would hope so. It's just not me.
Oh, you're kind of getting down to the, because you for those who might not know, Gary has lost some weight there. He's looking pretty good. You
Thank
get
you.
down a little more trim. You can start wearing those t-shirts that are too tight. Get a man bun. Sleeve.
Yeah,
sleeve
the
tattoos.
thing is, to be quite honest about it, when you've been heavier and you lose a bunch of weight, and I've lost over the last 2 years better than 50 pounds, you still have a great deal of excess skin that never goes away. So you're never really skinny like you would have been if you were never heavy to start with. You're not going to have the flat abs and stuff unless you go in and have the tuck surgery and stuff, which I'm not going to do. So I'm content with just being at a healthy weight. I am actually 6 pounds less than when I graduated high school right now.
Oh.
My jean size starts with a 3 now, which is great. And I feel better. Bending down to pick up stuff off the floor isn't even an issue anymore and stuff like that. And just getting around, I feel a whole lot better and stuff. But it's been a gradual change, which it really should be. If you're doing healthy weight loss, you don't want to lose it all at once and stuff like that. It's been with a doctor's supervision and everything. They're finally backing me off some of my medication, which helped me. So now I'm in a maintenance phase where I just need to, maintain my weight and, adjust the amount of stuff I eat and stuff. It's been a complete change in the foods I eat and the amount I eat and stuff like that. But I'd like to think I still eat when I need to. It's just I eat different things and I eat different quantities. But I still enjoy life and stuff like that. But it's definitely an adjustment. But if anybody out there's ever felt the need, definitely get a doctor you can work with and stuff like that and go at it. It's worth it.
And you don't have to do it in one day. I mean, just little by little, kind of with a lot of things in life. a little bit of progress adds up.
My endocrinologist basically identified the need when she started taking over my diabetes management last fall, around October, November last year. So it's been almost a year. And she started putting me on some different medications and stuff. And then I had the gout issue, which further limited the things I could eat, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because once I couldn't have red meat anymore, it seemed easier to lose weight because I wasn't eating a lot of the things that would have caused me to gain or maintain the weight in the first place. My diet is much more vegetable oriented. I still eat a few meats every once in a while, but it's mostly white, like chicken and stuff like that, and very small quantities of it. So I hate that happened, but it definitely, having the gout helped me, and it completely changed the way I feed myself and stuff like that. But the two things together definitely help. And I'm not going to say that's a trick for everybody. I'm just telling you what worked for me. X Adam 1 is talking about exercise. That's one thing I haven't incorporated a lot of exercise. I do get some exercise around here, and my doctor would like me to do a little more, but that's just a matter of keeping your body in good condition and stuff like that. Everybody needs to get out and do some things and stuff like that to maintain muscle tone and everything else, so you don't atrophy. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Sketch Valley said, I'm letting my weight get up to where I can cell divide into two people. He's looking to replicate. Pack Rat said, I just learned today was the start of the Texas Revolution. Uh-oh. Are they revolting right now? Or is that from way back when? Is it popping off? New York Outcast, losing weight is definitely a lifestyle change when done naturally. There's a lot of ladies in our neighborhood that are on the Ozempic.
My daughter is on that. I was on Mounjaro, and they started me at 2.5. Then I was at 5. And then for a month, the last month, she upped me to 7.5 because I was within 10 pounds of my goal weight. And she wanted me to lose my last 10 pounds. And I was successful. So she put me back on the 5 for maintenance, and we're going to go from there.
Mini Wayne is out there. He said Twinkies rule. Pack Rat said, I've been there for a while, Skagit Valley Guns. And Zingers are better than Twinkies. I do like Zingers.
Which ones are the Zingers?
They're kind of like Hostess cupcake, but long, like a Twinkie.
See, my favorites were the chocolate Hostess cupcakes with the cream filling. Those were my absolute favorites. I can't have any of that stuff now, but they're still good.
The Zingers are similar, but instead of being round, they're not quite rectangular, but a longer shape.
Okay.
Kind of like a Twinkie, but it had the chocolate frosting thing on top, like the cupcakes. I liked those, and I liked the Tiger Tails, which were that same shape, kind of Twinkie shape, cream filling, but they had a raspberry kind of stripe that went around and coconut.
Do you remember when they took Twinkies off the market there for a while?
Well, that was because the Twinkie company told the workers, hey, we need to either change your contract or we're going to go bankrupt.
Right.
And the union said, no, we're not going to change our contract. And they went bankrupt. And that's why Twinkies disappeared. The Hostess disappeared, and then they were bought by another company. I can't remember if it was Bimbo that bought them or who it was that bought them.
We have a factory in a nearby college town here that produces them. So when they came back, they put them in the local Walmart up there, and it was basically a big deal, the return of the Twinkie and stuff like that. And I remember getting a box when they first came back, and it was a big deal.
There used to be, when I was a kid, I remember there was a Hostess store. And so you could buy bread and
yeah, this used to be a Hostess
Twinkies
factory, and they did have the Hostess store. It's not there anymore. They closed it. But yeah, you could go in and buy bread and everything there.
New York Outcast. All that junk is a science experiment. Better living through chemicals. Minnie Wayne said, lemon zingers. Brian Bridges said, Suzy Q's. I did like Suzy Q's, and then kind of stopped liking them. I didn't hate them, but after a while, I didn't like them as much as I used to. A New York Outcast. I lost my weight naturally. It was a lot of work. Completely changed how I did things when it came to food and exercising. And Pack Rat said, the old revolution, 1832. So they haven't decided to revolt just yet. Modern day.
There's too many Californians in Texas to revolt now.
X Adam 1 said raspberry and coconut zingers are delicious. And Pack Rat said zingers have frosting. Ron Wayne said, don't Twinkies have a shelf life of 99.5 years? Technically, no. Try to remember, probably less than a year. I mean, they're not going to kill you. Just a lot of times, sometimes the bye. The dates on a food, there's different reasons it can be there. Some of it will be, it probably will be bad after that date. Sometimes it's the flavor profile might change. So the manufacturer wants it to taste the same every time you buy it. Otherwise, barbecue's back. If something tastes different every time you buy it, you're probably not going to, you might not buy it because, you bought it because you like that flavor. Well, that flavor is different every time you buy it. Sometimes it could be that. Sometimes it could just be an arbitrary number because they want to put it on there. It's like bottled water has dates on them. That water has been cycling through the systems for as long as the earth has existed.
But some bottled water tastes better than others for some reason. It's not all the same.
No, because a lot of bottled waters is just tap water. So it's whatever that tap water tastes like, whatever minerals are in that. And then you get into like Dasani, which they add minerals into it. I think Dasani is terrible. Terrible.
It is terrible. It's like the worst. Aquafina is second worst.
Yeah.
I've talked about that before on the overnight. The take my hat off, but I don't want to take my hat off. Where like Nestle, who owns some of the different labels for bottled water, they have I don't know if it's still the same, but they at least used to have a contract where they could pump as much water for free as they wanted. Was the contract they got with, I forget where they're pumping it from. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I watched a story on it years ago. Well, we're lucky here. Our municipal water, they test it a lot, and they send out the reports on every time they do the testing. they send out reports on what the testing show. I've tested it personally, and it's the pH was good, no lead, no other, nothing bad that I was testing for showed up. So we're lucky to have pretty good. When I was growing up, you have like Bremerton, Washington, where there's a shipyard there, but I remember being at a friend's house and getting a glass of water, and there's stuff floating in it. You can see little stuff floating around in there. And
as long as it's microbes, you'll be all right.
I was with a friend from Bremerton. This was in high school, and we were at a camp, and he took a drink of water, and he goes, "This water tastes funny." I told him, "Yes, this is what clean water tastes like. You're just not used to it." Ron Wayne said, I sense a ruining in the force.
Only if you're lucky.
Pack Rat said Little Debbie has gone downhill. And Ron said, isn't she in her late 90s? New York, Outcast. Lots of store brand water, ad stuff as well. And Fluffy said, Nestle is getting their water from Michigan.
Hopefully not Dearborn.
Well, it's probably
or
Ohio.
Flint. Flint. That'd be the worst one.
But I'm glad you came back, Barbecue. Did you want to do a bracket?
Absolutely.
Oh, let me get the bracket up here. So this one, oops, I need to make it a little bit smaller here. Hang on there. Get up there. There we go. So this one, these are songs that mention either a structure or a part of a structure. So like a room, a roof, a house. And I have them on my iTunes. Those were the two requirements to make this list. So what would not qualify is like road or home. Well, I guess Barbecue didn't like that idea.
Poor guy.
So I'll keep explaining it and see if he comes back. If he doesn't, then there you go.
Sorry, I was trying to get my headphones to hook up.
Home wouldn't qualify because it's not, home could be anywhere that you are staying. It doesn't specifically say structure. So if you lived in the ditch, that would be your home. Well, a ditch is not a structure.
Hotel California wouldn't qualify either, since that's not a home.
No, it's a hotel. So
you said it's a structure.
Yeah.
You'd say, well, I guess technically though, a ditch would be a structure. I mean, ditches along roadways are typically constructed.
Well, it's.
I mean, I realize that I'm being a jerk and kind of nitpicking that definition just now, but
Vulcan Rumble is out there. So roof is part of a structure, so that does qualify. So,
how about home on the range?
You're good.
Does that qualify?
No, it would not, because that's home would not qualify under under this definition as a structure. And I don't have Home on the Range on my iTunes.
You should.
So we've got House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, Brick House by the Commodores, Our House by Madness, Burning Down the House by Talking Heads. All the Girls Love Alice by Elton John, which that's a song where I really like the song musically, but I struggle with the subject of the song.
I've never heard it, I guess.
It's a song about a 17-year-old lesbian prostitute.
Interesting.
And about how the housewives of the neighborhood love Alice.
Alrighty.
Even more interesting.
Hotel California. Up on the Roof by the Ventures. Hotel California by the Eagles. The Eagles. Up on the Roof by the Ventures. Pink Houses by John Mellencamp. Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and the Wailers. White Room by Cream. Tempted by Squeeze. Sundown by Gordon Lightfoot. And do you know who Sundown is? Do you know who that song is about, Gary?
Oh, God. I should know.
There's been a couple songs about her. I can't remember what the other famous song about her is.
I can't think, and I know Gordon Lightfoot fairly well, but I can't think.
She's the lady who gave John Belushi the lethal dose of heroin.
Oh, yes.
It's the same lady.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can't remember. There's another famous song was written about her, but I don't remember what that one was. Come Dancing by the Kinks. Smoking in the Boys' Room by the Brownsville Station version, not the other one. What's their faces? And then I'm Not in Love by 10cc. Are there any questions on these songs?
Nope.
Did either of you listen to them after I gave you the list of songs?
I did. Actually, knew most of them.
Well, I knew all of them except for the one, which I have to admit I did not listen to. The Elton John song.
Gary.
It's going up against Hotel California, so let's be real.
Well,
Most overrated song by the Eagles.
We still have to shuffle, so don't know where it's going.
That's true.
So, all right. So first off is White Room by Cream against Smoking in the Boys' Room by Brownsville Station. Barbecue.
Ooh. I'm going to go White Room.
White Room. Gizzard.
This is a tough one. I have a lot of respect for both these songs, but my initial reaction was to say Smoking in the Boys' Room, so I'm going to go with that.
Smoking in the Boys' Room. Oh, I think I'm going to go White Room with Cream. Cream, I think you could consider a super group just because who's in it? Ginger Baker, Clapton, and
you want any?
The other guy that I can't think of his name. If Garage Noise is out there, he can tell me. He'll know. The third guy I can't think of. Oh, but White Room is going to move on. So now we've got Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and the Wailers against Come Dancing by the Kinks. Barbecue.
The Kinks.
The Kinks. Gizzard.
Yeah, I'm going with the Kinks too on this one.
Kinks. I really like both these songs. And I hate to vote against Bob Marley. I think I'm going to go with Come Dancing.
Won't lie, I voted for the Kinks entirely because I think Bob Marley is just slightly overrated. I'm not saying he wasn't good or anything. I just think he gets too much credit.
I don't know. I would never call him overrated. I think part of it is I mean, I like all the songs that I know by him. I like. He's, I don't know if you would call him an activist, but a lot of his songs are along the line of activism. So I don't know if, when they came out, so if that plays a part in the fame of Bob Marley. So what he's singing about in the time, I don't know. But Come Dancing is going to move on. So we've got Our House by Madness versus Burning Down the House by Talking Heads.
Oh, this is a really tough one. This shouldn't. Oh, Our House.
Our House. Gizzard. You're muted if you're talking.
Sorry about that. I'm going to go with the one I heard on XM yesterday while I was driving around, and I would have voted for it anyway. Definitely Burning Down the House. Burning
Down the House. I think I'm going to go with Our House by Madness. It's their most popular song. Well, I'm guessing, and I haven't looked up the numbers, but the most popular song, and it's the kind of the most mainstream song for them. It's different than most of their other songs, but I still like it. I like them both, but these are all on my iTunes, so I like all of these songs. But I'm gonna go with Our House. So now we've got Sundown versus Brick House. Gordon Lightfoot against the Commodores. Barbecue.
Commodores all day long.
She's a Brick House. Gizzard.
Not only am I always going to go with Gordon Lightfoot, but Brick House is about a woman. Has nothing to do with the structure whatsoever.
Oops.
So
well, they mentioned
Sundown.
Gary likes his women built like brick houses. Likes them be old, sturdy old ladies.
He's mighty. Letting it all
Just
hang
letting
out.
it all hang out, yeah.
I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Sundown, actually. So now we've got Eleanor Rigby against Hotel California. Barbecue.
Hotel California.
Hotel California. So you hate the Beatles more than you hate the Eagles.
I just like Hotel California more than one might believe. However, I still do think that Hotel California is slightly overrated. I mean, it's a very good song. I shouldn't say overrated. Overplayed.
I can see that, definitely. Gizzard.
I definitely agree that Hotel California is overplayed. It's a good enough song and all that stuff, but just listening to the lyrics of Eleanor Rigby and all the weird stuff that's going on in there is really a kick. So I'm going to go with Eleanor Rigby here. Go with the Fab Four.
Eleanor Rigby. The one kind of interesting thing, which I don't think, well, I never really thought about, is Eleanor Rigby. It's all strings, so it's orchestral. violin and
Mhm.
cello and all that. There's no rock instruments in it. I just watched a short clip of an interview with Joe Walsh. He was asked about Hotel California, and he said that basically it's just that everybody that lives in California isn't from California, so it's like one big hotel. That's kind of the idea behind the song. But I'm gonna go Eleanor Rigby. So now we've got Pink Houses by John Mellencamp against Tempted by Squeeze. Barbecue.
Pink houses.
Pink Houses. Gizzard.
Ain't that America? Let's go with Pink Houses.
Pink Houses. New York Outcast, I would say Bob Marley was an activist. He did get shot and still performed less than 48 hours later with a political rally at the concert. I'm going to go Tempted, but Pink Houses is going to move on. So I'm Not in Love by 10cc against Up on the Roof. Barbecue.
10cc.
10cc. Gizzard.
Now, which version of Up on the Roof are you going with here?
The Ventures.
Oh, okay. James Taylor did a good cover of that.
Yeah. James Taylor has done some not so good covers of older songs.
But if you know the story
No,
behind
it's not the
I'm
Ventures,
Not
the
in-
Drifters. I'm sorry. The Drifters.
If you know the story between I'm Not in, behind I'm Not in Love and how it was recorded and produced, plus the whispering that's done during the bridge is actually the secretary of the building who they called in to record that Big Boys Don't Cry. Kind of an interesting story. I'm going to go with that.
Not in Love. Yeah, they layered, God, it was like 2,000 layers of that kind of ethereal sounding. Oh, I forget
It's
how
very
many
cool.
layers they put on it. Yeah, I'm gonna go I'm Not in Love, I think also. So now we've got House of the Rising Sun by the Animals and All the Girls Love Alice by Elton John. Barbecue.
House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun. Gizzard.
Definitely got to go with House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun. I'm going to go All the Girls Love Alice. But House of the Rising Sun is going to move on. So now we've got White Room against Come Dancing. Barbecue.
White Room and what?
Come Dancing by the Kinks.
Come Dancing by the Kinks.
Come Dancing. Gizzard.
I'm going to go with White Room. That's a standard, man.
White Room.
With black curtains.
At the station.
Yep, that's the one.
I was just looking at something there. Yeah. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Come Dancing. So now we've got Our House against Sundown. Barbecue.
Our House.
Our House. Gizzard.
This is a toughie. I love both these songs, but I especially love Gordon Lightfoot, so we're going with Sundown.
Sundown. I think I'm going to go Our House.
You really can't go wrong here.
No, I do. I think if it was a different Gordon Lightfoot song, I would probably go with the Gordon Lightfoot over Madness. But between these two songs, Our House is gonna pull ahead.
Yeah. If you were going with If You Could Read My Mind, yeah.
Yeah.
Better song.
So now Eleanor Rigby against Pink Houses. Barbecue.
Sorry, my daughter was making noise. What was that?
Eleanor Rigby or Pink Houses?
Oh, Eleanor Rigby.
Eleanor Rigby. Oh, I was gonna say, if you haven't heard the Gypsy Kings version of Hotel California, give it a listen. I think it's worth it. It's in Spanish. Gizzard, Eleanor Rigby or Pink Houses?
Well, my initial thought was to go with Pink Houses, but I'm going to flip on this. I'm going to go with Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, Barbecue, did you say Eleanor Rigby or Pink Houses?
Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, okay. Making sure I marked it correctly. And you said, Gizzard?
Eleanor Rigby.
Eleanor Rigby. I will also go Eleanor Rigby. I liked John Cougar Mellencamp. I never loved John Cougar Mellencamp. And
he has better songs.
I think now he's going by John Mellencamp. That's his YouTube channel is John Mellencamp. So
yeah.
I'm not
initially. It was initially John Cougar because that's the way the record producers wanted to promote him, but he kind of rebelled against that.
Oh, I'm Not in Love or House of the Rising Sun? Barbecue.
House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun. Gizzard.
I too am going to have to go with House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun. I think I will agree. So Come Dancing against Our House. Barbecue.
Our House.
Our House. Gizzard. Eleanor Rigby. Sorry, I was going to the wrong. Come Dancing or Our House?
Our House.
Our House. Well, I'll give Come Dancing a vote, but Our House is going to move on. So now, Barbecue, Eleanor Rigby or House of the Rising Sun?
House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun. Gizzard.
This is a real toughie here. Both these are songs from my childhood. I'm going to go with Eleanor Rigby.
Eleanor Rigby. I will also go Eleanor Rigby.
Wow.
So our final, which I never.
Sorry, boss.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I thought for sure House of the Rising Sun was a good chance to take all of this, and it's gone.
I was going to say I did not foresee Our House against Eleanor Rigby in the final. So Barbecue, Our House or Eleanor Rigby?
Our House.
Our House. Gizzard.
100% Eleanor Rigby here.
Eleanor Rigby. I'm going to agree. I'm going to go Eleanor Rigby. So Eleanor Rigby has won the songs that mention a structure or parts of a structure, and Voss has it in his iTunes bracket. which apparently nobody liked because everybody left. Everyone has
I've been having that
Oh,
happen
look.
in start brackets too.
I was going to say, oh, look at all the lonely people, but they're gone.
I know that bracket was kind of weird, but it's just the idea that I got, so I went with it. And making it songs that I have on the iTunes made it tougher, which made it a challenge, made it a little more fun for me, but apparently not fun for anybody else. Which is okay.
I have fun.
Oh, well, Mr. Barbecue. Mr.
Yo.
Barbecue. What you got coming up?
Possibly a show Thursday. I mean, usually we do shows on Thursdays. We might do that. But other than that, I guess with that, thanks for the invite.
And Gary.
I do a show on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central. It's called Foul Territory. But I'd like to give a shout out while I have an opportunity to the one person that's still out there in the audience, Ron Wayne. He is my co-conspirator on Tuesday nights when we do our members chats. He's got an excellent channel if you're into guns and stuff like that. So definitely check out Ron Wayne. He's also got a cohort in crime, Misty, and don't forget Minnie Wayne. So if you're a Ron Wayne fan, you've got many different characters to be fans of. So definitely give Ron Wayne a look, definitely. So
And
thanks for
Gizzard
having
Vet
me.
Wednesday night, not Tuesday night.
It is Wednesday night. You're right.
It's, you get a little older. Sometimes you get a little confused. It's
Yeah, I know, right? It's not wrong.
At some point, I'll have a video on that Henry 4570 provider. I still need some more range footage for it. So whenever I get around to doing that, then put that out, which I do like that rifle. One thing that I did realize quite quickly is I had decided to start doubling up my ear protection. And I forgot to do that while shooting the 4570. And before I left the range, I had a start of a headache, which lasted into the next day. And I think it's just the concussion from the 4570. I shot quite a few rounds, probably 30, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when they're big bore, it's kind of a lot, I think. So the last time I went out, I didn't shoot quite as much, but I doubled up and I didn't have the same headache. So maybe a coincidence, maybe not. I don't know. But my kind of pack rat had talked about in one of his unboxing videos, one of his last videos, about electronic ear protection. And I'm thinking about when I'm shooting larger caliber rifles, going away from the electronic just to have more protection, because it does cut out when it hears that big bang. But he mentioned that his doctor, his ear doctor, said that it doesn't catch the beginning of that shot, so you still get a cumulative effect, which I had kind of been thinking about. So I think maybe with smaller calibers might still keep with the electronic, which, I mean, they're great because if you've got somebody else with you, you can hear them without shouting at each other. But I want to make sure I protect my hearing.
Yeah, that's more important than anything else. And I want to add that if you're feeling pain, that's usually a sign that your hearing protection is not sufficient. Your body kind of protects you in that way. So definitely do what you have to, double up or switch your hearing protection. I've had to do it before at various times. But take care of yourself for sure.
Well, it was when the video I did with the cowboy hat, I had to switch from my normal over the top to behind the neck so I could wear the hat.
Right.
And they're not electronic, and they have more dampening than my Howard Light electronic ones. And I noticed the difference. And while shooting, I didn't have the same, when I was using the electronic and I wasn't doubled up, I didn't, while I was shooting, I didn't really notice it other than I felt like a pressure in my head, kind of like a sinus pressure, but without all the cold symptoms, which didn't happen when I doubled up with the different hearing protection. So I think for me, definitely that's the way I'm going to go, shooting larger calibers from now on. Ron said, do a video on how to stretch a felt cowboy hat. I need a 1/4 inch again. So
Now, do you buy fitted hats or do you buy like small, medium, large?
Well, this one I bought for the video. Here, let me.
I mean, your more expensive ones actually have hat sizes like, 7.5, stuff like that.
This is kind of small, medium, large. It's not felt. It's actually an Australian design.
Okay.
And it is water resistant from the Outback Trading Company. Original Outback oilskin. So it's not quite a traditional cowboy hat. It has a similar look, but I like the look of it. And it didn't cost as much as a handmade custom hat, which I would love to have, but I wouldn't wear it enough to justify the expense. Custom hats. Ozzy said, after 47 years in printing, my hearing is bad. I can see that. I don't know if you've ever seen video. He's done videos in his printing place, but with all the machinery running, I wouldn't want to work in all that noise.
See, I worked in a nuclear power plant, and if you ever had to, now most of the buildings I worked in were office buildings outside of the main plant. Occasionally, we would have to go inside of the physical plant itself, and hearing protection was required at all times when walking through that building. And they actually had stations where you could pick up the disposable foam earplugs right at the door. So in case you didn't bring yours with you, but you were supposed to have it on you, but just in case, they had it right there where you could pick it up. And yes, safety people and other employees would definitely catch you if you were going through without hearing protection, because being in that kind of safety conscious environment, we kind of looked out for each other. So in that respect, the employer I had was real good about helping you protect your hearing and stuff like that.
So the nuclear power plant isn't just like a warm hum and glow.
Well, when you're inside the plant itself, you're outside the reactor building, you're over in the turbine building where you've got, basically steam turbines turning and piping going. It's just like any kind of loud power plant would be when it's in operation. It's just a steady, a fairly heavy drone, which wouldn't hurt your hearing if you walked into it, but it takes a long while to walk through there, and it could definitely be harmful to your hearing. And you can't really hear people in there talking anyway. But if we stopped to talk to somebody, like if we were passing somebody, you would literally have to yell so you could hear each other with your hearing protection on.
Ron said, they say working in a factory makes gear websites makes you more of an awesome person. Oh, working in a factory that makes gear websites makes you a more awesome person.
I've never been in their factory. I'll bet it is awesome.
I always thought they were handmade one at a time.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, what? Thank you to everybody that was out there in the side chat chatting it up. I really do appreciate you. And I hope that everybody has a good rest of the Sunday. Please have a good rest of the Sunday. And we'll see you next Sunday.